Yeah, definitely. So I just wanted to make that. But anyways, okay, so far so good. I'm going to tell you, for those of you to clarify, the memory seems to be working great, so I think we'll be able to go through an hour with this interview, I think. It still says it's 15.1 gigabytes of free disk space, and I started off with like 17. So it looks like it's going to be, we can go through an hour if we wanted to, so that's awesome. But anyways, that was a little off topic. But anyways, here's an interesting question. Growing up, I'm 17, so I didn't have quite the pleasure that you did of picking up or playing a Super Nintendo through the golden age of gaming back in the 90s. And I sort of grew up with the PlayStation 1, basically, and so on. And I want to ask you, you have games, you probably remember playing games like Contra, Castlevania, and I have gotten the chance to play a lot of retro games thanks to my iPhone. But anyways, so I want to ask you if there's a nostalgic gaming franchise of yours that you would love to see brought back into this generation or next generation of gaming, which one do you think you would just say, that's just brilliant, bring it back? I know Nintendo does that a lot, but just for like any other franchise you can think of that you would say is brilliant, what would you think?
Well, there's this Battletoads. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes, I have. Battletoads, Battletoads 52, I think I played. Was it called 52? I don't remember. There was one called Battletoads 52.
No, Battletoads for sure. I remember that game being like super difficult. Like obviously, Mega Man, they should do something with that, but Mega Man left Capcom, and now Capcom's kind of bitter about it, and blah blah blah, and we're probably not going to see that. I think of other games I played back in the day. I'd like to see Clay Fighters, but that was Super Nintendo. It was a game where they took not stop motion. Well, I guess it was stop motion animation of these little clay characters, and it was sort of like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Eternal Champions was a great fighting game from back in the day. I'm trying to think what else was there. Wonder Boy would be amazing, but that was for Sega Master System, so that's going way back.
Right. Well, yeah, interesting choices.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games there that, like Road Rash, that was an amazing game on Sega Genesis. That was like, what did you have to do in that game? Road Rash was on bikes, and it was sort of like Twisted Metal, but you're on a highway, so it just kept going.
Yeah.
And there was another game. What the hell was that game called? It was like, I think you're on rollerblades, and you grab the back of a car and try to hold on and go around like the roads. I can't think of the name.
I'm trying to remember, because I have like a bunch, you probably knew this, but I have an emulator, so I have like hundreds of NES games. Is it Rollerblades of Steel or something like that?
No, well, Blades of Steel is an original, their first hockey game on on NES, but
okay.
I can't think of the name, but it was an amazing game, and he released it, I believe. But yeah, there was games back then. Like the thing was this: there weren't many games coming out. I mean, they wouldn't come out as much as they come out nowadays, but you would not know anything about the game when you were buying it sometimes. All you would know is literally the back of the box. So it'd be like, I want to go get a new game. Let's go. We'd go to the store. We'd spend hours looking at the back of a box. You would see like 3 stills from the game, and you would read about it in the features, just like you would do nowadays. But you got to keep in mind there was no internet, so there was only magazines. So I'd have to go to like the grocery store every month, grab GamePro. I would only know what games are coming out based off that magazine. So if there was a game that was amazing that wasn't in that magazine or I missed it, then it would just come down to either buying it based on the back of the box, or you could just rent a game. Back in the day, you could rent games at the corner store, like Nintendo games. They were all over the place. But I remember thinking, if the game sucked, you still had to play it because you just spent $80 on that game.
Right.
Nowadays, you have the internet, so your money goes to where you want it to go. So it's not like, if you buy a game, you hate it, maybe you can sell it or return it or whatnot. Back in the day, if you bought a game, asked for your birthday or Christmas, and you got it and it was horrible, you would still play the hell out of it because that's all you had.
Right.
And I think there's a huge difference nowadays, because nowadays, if you really want it, you just go online, download it, burn it onto a modded system, and you can have every game that's out.
Right.
And I think that changed video games big time.
Yeah, definitely. With people like, I think it's interesting. Developers, I almost feel like they still, you see, like, for example, you probably knew about this. I'm trying to think, God, I'm having a brain fart here. There was, the website, God, I'm going to sound so stupid asking this. The name of the website, the one that gets all the scores from all the, reviews.
Metacritic?
Metacritic, yes. See, I've been there a million times and I couldn't remember. But anyways, you probably remember hearing about this, I'm sure. Modern Warfare 3, when that came out, that got like a 2 on Metacritic. And I think what was interesting was that the reaction to people going on there and causing that much of a low score, I don't think it deserves that low of a score by any means. But anyways, I think it's just interesting because I think that I actually will go on record. I do actually believe that some people probably do just really hate the game. I mean, Review Tech USA, I think, traded in his copy. Yes, the reviews are important, and developers prefer, to avoid talking about reviews. Like, they sort of just want to say, oh, this game's good, just check it out, But after that Metacritic score came in, I think like one of the Infinity Ward people went on, or maybe it was Sledgehammer, went on and was like, oh, can you guys like change this? This is bullcrap or something. And I was like, dude, you don't want to do that, because if you do that, then more and more people will do it because they know it's working. You know what I'm saying? It's like being more effective. If you want to stop that kind of thing, you just have to ignore it, if you're a developer.
Well, that's just like, that's everything. That's right. Like, that goes, that theory works for everything. If you want to stop something, you just don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And
because, it goes for everything. Like, I think Morgan Freeman was in like an interview, and it's the best interview I've ever seen. They were talking about racism, and he was like, well, what would you do to get rid of it? And he was just like, don't talk about it.
See what
and
I
it was
mean?
Like, it's simple, because if you go throughout history, the only reason we know history is because people talked about it.
Right.
To get rid of racism, you just don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way, when somebody's born into the world, they're not going to know about it because it doesn't exist anymore.